is Cynthia, and today we will be talking about our chapter 5 of our book review, which is the clarity of why, the discipline of how, and the consistency of what. When we talk of the clarity of what, of how, first of all, what is the definition of clarity? Clarity is the ability to see things clearly, to understand our goals, to understand our visions, and to put steps how to achieve our goals. We cannot do business without uh, uh, define our goals, or we cannot own a companies without telling them what we want to do and how we are going to achieve our services or our product. In order to succeed in our life, we need to be clear in what we have to do. We need to educate our customers. We need to put our product, we need to make our product to be clear. So we need to make our customer understand what we are producing. We need to make them to see reason why we are doing this. If we are not clear with that, we are not going to succeed. And again, clarity is a roadmap to a business. It guides our steps and it makes us to achieve long-term results. If we are not clear with our ideologies, our product, our services, we cannot sell those services out there. So we need to be clear on what we are doing. Even in our life, before you want to do something, you have to be sure. You have to make sure that, am I going to do this? Am I going to achieve this? When you are sure, it means that you are prepared to do that. Without clarity, we cannot achieve success. Without clarity, we cannot succeed in life. So we need to be clear in what we are doing. When you are certain in what you are doing, the next thing that comes in is your how, which is the discipline part of it. If you set your goals and you are not being disciplined, you cannot achieve those goals. So we need to be disciplined in what we are doing. What is discipline? Discipline is the action. Discipline is the ability to take action on what we are doing. If we cannot discipline ourselves, we will not succeed. Mommy D used to say it. To achieve something, you have to sacrifice something to achieve that thing. We need to sacrifice our life to achieve something. We need to sacrifice in our life to achieve our result. If we don't set rules, if we don't set regulations, we cannot achieve that. And people cannot buy our why. Because when you are scattered, people will not take you serious. In life, I come to discover that those people that are well disciplined, they achieve greatness in life. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, please. I come to discover that people that are very well disciplined, they will achieve greatness in life. What are the importance of discipline? It makes us to be hardworking. If you don't discipline yourself, you cannot work hard. Another point is it makes us to be honest. When you are being disciplined, you are honest and you say your why to the public. If you are not disciplined, you cannot say your why or how to achieve your objective in public. So it makes us to be honest. Discipline help us to complete our tasks on time. If you are not disciplined, you cannot set goals because you will not achieve those goals on time. For example, if you are working in a company, at the end of the month, you have to submit your report. It takes a disciplined worker to submit that report on time. If you don't discipline yourself, you cannot submit that report. So it makes us to submit our to complete our tasks on time. How to achieve this discipline? How can you achieve discipline? You achieve discipline on setting clear goals. You cannot you cannot be scattered and you want to achieve clear goals. No, you have to discipline yourself in order to achieve, because we are talking about discipline of how. How can you discipline yourself? You have to set clear goals in order to work on. You have to eliminate yourself from being distracted, because if you are not disciplined, you always be, if you are not disciplined, you cannot achieve your goals. You must I cannot put it, you must sacrifice your moment. Let me say, eliminating distraction means, okay, now I'm having a presentation today. By 7:30, a friend will call me, Cynthia, please come, let's go and eat burning fish. It's leisure, yes, but what am I going to? That's distraction. I have to be focused, not to be distracted. Another reason how we can achieve discipline is to look for a mentor. You have to look for a coach, somebody that can put you along the line, somebody that can direct you, somebody that can encourage you for you to achieve your goal. We cannot achieve our goals without being disciplined. In our society today, we always love to, we envy those who are that are up there, those that have achieved in life, but we don't know the pains, we don't know the sacrifice that they have passed through before climbing that ladder. In every success, there is a pain behind that success, and that pain is discipline. If you don't discipline yourself, you cannot achieve results. If you don't discipline yourself, you cannot achieve long-term results. So we have to discipline ourselves in order to achieve long-term results. Discipline is a building of a positive habit. If you don't discipline yourself, you can never have a good habit. Because at times you set a goal, by tomorrow, maybe you feel discouraged because you don't have a positive something concerning that. No, you have to discipline yourself in order to have a positive habit. If you don't have a good character, you cannot sell a product in the market. If you don't have a good character, it is very difficult for people to buy your wine. So you have to discipline yourself in order to portray a good character out there. Discipline is a foundation of long-term consistency. If you don't discipline yourself, you cannot move forward. What is consistency? Consistency means doing something repeatedly over and over again. If you want to have a quality product in the market, you have to do that product. People will complain, you readjust it. They will complain, you readjust it in order to have the final result. What is the importance of being consistent in what you are doing? It builds habits. When you do something repeatedly, it becomes a natural part of your life. You are happy doing it. Excuse me. It brings steady progress. Maybe your progress is slow on achieving that, but you have to focus. You have to keep moving. It increases confidence. When you are consistent in what you are doing, you have confidence, you are proud. that at the end of the day, I can achieve this. I can achieve this result. It makes you to be comfortable. It makes you to feel happy. It makes you to feel fulfilled that I'm going to achieve this because you have increased what you have dedicated your time in what you are doing. It leads to success. Most successful people today, they don't succeed because they are smart or they go faster. They succeed because of consistency. They do it over and over again. How to stay consistent? Start small. Don't try to do too much at once. It means that if you want to cut down, let me say, if you want to reduce your weight or you want to look fit, you must not do all the types of fitting activity today. You must start either each day you can take 2 minutes to exercise. The next day you can take 3 minutes to exercise. You start by small, small. At the end of the day, you have long-term results. Stay motivated. Remind yourself why you start. Imagine how good you feel when you improve. Like I, for one, I never knew that I can present, but I'm feeling so excited. I feel fulfilled about 10%, but I'm happy because I'm doing it. I focus on what I want to do. Make a routine. Make a time. Most of us, we don't have time. We don't plan before doing. You need to make a timetable. At this particular moment, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. When you plan well, you will succeed. And another point is be patient. Any organization that is succeeding today, they have that attitude of being patient in what they are doing. They have that attitude of being grounded. Let me put it that way. They have to be grounded of what they are doing. They don't rush. When you rush, you will not achieve your goals. But when you are patient and you take things slowly, slowly by slowly, you are going to achieve your goals. Track your progress. To be consistent, you have to take notes. You have to jot down your points. Each day that you achieve that particular point, you stick it. At the end of the day, you have to go through your list of preference to see whether am I up to the task or not. If you don't track down your progress, you will not know whether you are succeeding or not. So you need to track down your progress. In the whole summary, the key points that I really picked in this our chapter 5 is really based on consistency. One of the key points that I pick in consistency is distraction still attraction. When you are being distracted, you will pay the price because you are not going to achieve your goal. Another point is that consistency is not about motivation. It is about showing up even when you don't feel like. You are not supposed to do your things or to achieve your goals when you are happy, when you feel like doing it. Even when in your difficult moments, you have to keep on trying. You have to show up. Like, for example, I'm a teacher. Just imagine that I'm not feeling fine, and students, they have their exam to write. At times, I have to show up because of that exam that they have to write, not because I'm not feeling fine. I have to sacrifice my health to make the student to write their exams. Another one is that consistency is not about forcing it. It's about finding why. That why is a strong factor that will make you going forward. That's why. Why am I doing this? Why is this company not succeeding? If you know the factors of your why, you will always succeed, because you cannot stay put. You see, your customers are going every day, your life is not moving. You see, your fellow colleagues are getting a promotion at the job site, they are moving. You have to ask yourself, why? So if you know the strong factor behind that why, you will succeed in doing whatever thing you are doing. Even if in your difficult days, you keep on moving. Another key point that I pick in that chapter is that true character builds when motivation leaves. For example, is Mama Dida motivated me to take these classes? At times, I used to ask myself, if Mommy D is not there, am I going to continue? She was a motivational factor. Now, I have to remove her from the picture to see whether I can achieve what I'm looking for. If I remove her from that picture and I keep on moving, that is what we call consistency. It means that the motivational factors, what make you a particular person, you must not be motivated so you are consistent. No, you have to move on. As a businessman in your life, even in your marriage, if those motivational factors are not there, you have to make that marriage work by all means. If that motivational factor is not there, you have to make that business work by all means. That's why we call consistency. Another point that I pick is that action must be consistent, whether you want it or not. In any organization, as you are there to produce goods and services, you must take actions, because your competitors are out there. They don't sleep. You yourself, you don't have to sleep. Same in our life. You must work on your emotions in order to succeed. If you put your emotions in front, you cannot succeed. It's the same with business. Just imagine that you have a vision to open a bakery. At the end of the day, that vision cannot work by itself. It's a vision, you have jotted it down. It cannot work by itself. You must take action in order to achieve your long-term goals. Consistency is a true foundation of trust. Either you keep your promises or you don't make the promises. In our society today, we deceive a lot. Either you are producing good quality of good, or you don't go into that particular line of business. If you know that you have to keep deceiving customers over and over again, they are going to lose why you are doing this. They are going to lose trust in you. To conclude, a goal is not achieved in a single day, but in 1,000 of steps when no one is watching us. We cannot be great in a society in using a single day, but we have to go through pains. Even when no one is there to encourage us, we have to encourage ourselves, because we know not what we want. So my take home today is, when I went through this topic, I reflected it on myself. I'm that type that I make promises and fail. I set goals and I fail. But going through this topic, I've learned that I have to discipline myself in whatever thing I'm doing, and I have to be consistent in whatever thing I'm doing to achieve my goals in the long run. Thank you. I'm going to hand over the floor to Madame Charlotte.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. you. Thank you so much. Um, I don't seem to see Charlotte. Is she with you? Is she using another person's phone? Because that could be, maybe she doesn't have good network and decided to join.
She was present, though. It seems as if she was present. Maybe the network had kicked her off. Let me try. Let me try to get to her.
All right. Thank you. Thank you again, Cynthia. And while while Amy tries to get Charlotte on board again, do we have anything to share? Anyone has anything to share, a takeaway from this chapter? Clarity, discipline, and consistency. Pastor Carr, are you there?
Hello, Maso, can I share?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And one thing that I think makes Simon Sinek a very scary man is his ability to transform starting his why into a gospel truth. Because one thing that I really learned while studying this chapter is the way he said that we should be clear about our why. We should have that, we should really have a clear notion of why we do things, that we should not have a fuzzy feeling of why we're doing things. And that is really, to me, very powerful, because me, I'm still figuring out my why. I'm like, why am I doing it's very fuzzy to me. So he says that we should clarify our intentions, our motivations. Then we should have the discipline to continue figuring out how to process our why, how we can figure out the why, like how we can bring our why into a reality. So it's still the same concept of golden circle all over again. He is singing the thing on repeat, on replay. And then finally, he says we should have the consistency to make sure that the what is the product that comes from the why. So this man, and when reading his profile, you see that everything he does is just a follow up from this book. So this guy is very scary, and I really pray that by the end of this pillar, I will really have a clearer understanding of my why, so that I can be like Simon Sinek. So thank you.
Thank you, Patience. Thank you. And you see, the importance he states in this chapter that one of the things, I'm paraphrasing, one of the reasons why we must know our why is to be able to communicate it effectively to others. If you don't know your why, you will speak gibberish. Nobody will have to follow you because you don't even know why you are doing what you're doing. Remember the case of a politician. If you cannot say why you want the votes, or why voters should come for you, or why voters should vote for you, who will come? So he comes, like you said, Patience. It is just the same golden circle that he's articulating in different words. He's putting it in at different times, differently. I mean, I think he's addressing different hearts to just take the why, keep going on the why, and just turning it or resounding it so that we may get clarity at the end. And one of the things that I also took out of here was that without why, any attempt at authenticity would just always be inauthentic. So without why, there is no truth. It started from the beginning. And again, I want to thank you so much, Cynthia, for the wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. I'm sure that before the class is over, we'll have 1, 2, or 3 more people contribute. I don't know if Charlotte is here already. No, not yet.
I can't get through to her. I don't know what is wrong with her.
Maybe the network.
I'm sure network.
Yes, please.
No, somebody has two devices on. That's why we're hearing echo. Okay. Let me just say a little something on what I saw or what I see in this chapter. The clarity, discipline, and consistency. You know, like the way this guy Simon Sinek is explaining, he's just talking a lot of sense. First of all, if you have a vision, I'm going to speak and just kind of go a little bit biblical way to just add some more, to just give some more depth to it. So if you hear me quoting the Bible down, you see, when you have a vision, you have to have the clarity of that vision. The Bible says, when you have that vision, make it plain on the table, make it plain. So you have to write it down is to clarify that vision, what it is, write it down, make it plain on a tablet. You write it down clear, make it clear. So when that vision is clear to you, it will be very, it will be easy now to carry it out. But when something is not clear, it's hard to carry it out. So that's the way he's trying to explain. You have to be clear on what you want to do. So make that vision, clear, write it down. So you write now your vision down, and then that discipline, like our sister was just explaining, discipline is very important. Even in our Christian life, you have to discipline yourself to do certain things. If you are fasting, you have to discipline yourself. Whatever you're doing, you have to discipline yourself to pray, discipline yourself to study the word, because if you don't do it, you will not get to where you are going. Your Christian life will not be strong. If you look at, sometimes we look at some great men of God are doing some things and they have disciplined themselves. They have done this. See, Jesus used to discipline himself, take himself away from the disciples, go and pray, do that in spiritual world, in our business world, or this and that. You discipline yourself. There's some things that you are going to give up to get what you want to get by disciplining yourself. When you give up so many things, once the vision is clear, you write it down, you give up so many things to start carrying out that vision. And in order now for that vision to come to fruition, you have to be consistent. Just like the example you gave, somebody you want to lose weight. You cannot go to the gym today and then the next day you start eating a bowl of fufu and stuff like that. Today you go, tomorrow you are not there, the next day go. Like, you can do baby steps. So long as there's a movement, keep going, move. Consistency. Whether it's one step a day, let something be happening. Let that train be moving. Let it be moving. Be doing. Let something be happening. So if you are going, you are moving. You move one step, then you take the other step. It's not like today you play and then tomorrow you just go and sleep. Right? I'm tired today. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing that. And then they always say I'll be eating more vegetables, and there's 1 week will pass. You will not even do whatever thing that you want to do. Even if you are going to school, if today you go to school, tomorrow you don't go, and this and that, you will not get the knowledge, whatever you're trying to get. So you have to be consistent. And when you are consistent, you will get result. So even in your why, like he has said, you have that why. You still have to follow. They have to be clear. You have to be disciplined with it, and you have to be consistency for whatever thing that you are doing to come to fruition. So it's these three things that he named here: the clarity, discipline, and consistency. When I was looking at them reading, I said, wow, These are our normal, our daily life. It's a daily life. If you want to achieve anything that you want to achieve in life, once you are thinking about it, you write it down, you are disciplined to do those things, and then whatever now discipline now is, the technique that you will take to do it, and then consistency to stay on it, stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. When you stay on it, keep going and moving and moving. Do not derail. Because what happens to people is that they derail. Once there is derailment, inconsistency, there will be no result. So consistency, you have to share among the, as far as these three, things are concerned in the things that we do in life. So I rest my case.
Thank you for bringing it home, Lady Love. Thank you for making it really practical. My guess is that by now our clarity, we're becoming more and more clear on our why. We're becoming more and more disciplined. We're becoming more and more consistent. Cynthia stated why we should be disciplined and why we should be consistent. Here, Simon Sinek again, in reference to what, he says there can be no what without a why. And if we reverse it, failure is inevitable. So the why, and he states the order. At some point, who noticed how he stated how the order of things should be? It is the why first, it is the how, and then the what. So it is step. Leadership is inspired. It is done step by step. If you miss the order, or if you misplace priorities, you cannot inspire people. And we would remember that the purpose of this journey, the purpose of being on Elevate, is to be able to be leaders who inspire. We don't want to be leaders of position and influence. No. And so to be leaders who inspire, we must, he has stated today, be disciplined. Thank you, Mommy Love, Lady Love, for bringing it up. I have a Mommy Love in my life. Thank you, Lady Love, for bringing it so close, stating it with such practical examples. And that is the purpose. Our coach would like for us to have this, for the knowledge to not just remain in our heads, but for it to run with us, for the knowledge that we're acquiring to go with us every step of our daily lives. One other thing that I saw in the consistency is that it allows us to scale and build strong brands for ourselves. It allows us to be stronger people. Consistency. When you're strong, when you're consistent, you're confident. When you're confident, you're strong. There is a thing that confidence does to a human being. It makes you to be How do you get to being consistent? Cynthia told us that start small. One of the things that we fear is starting small. I'm bringing it home from my own angle. We're afraid to start to do the little things daily, to set the little goals and try to achieve them daily, hourly, weekly. Great. And so we are not consistent. And if we're not consistent, we really cannot get there. Our how will always, just be suspended. Or our why, will always never really have a soft landing. It will never really have a safe landing. So no matter how we try, we will juggle between how and what, but our how will not be clear if we are not, our why will not be clear if we don't breathe clarity into it, if we are not disciplined and if we are not consistent enough. Another key point that I notice is that, our why must be clear, and that our followers, he said it in previous chapters, we get a following because we know our why. That is, in other words, a company will find loyal clients because their why, they have clearly articulated their why. So it is the same thing of knowing our why, articulating it clearly, communicating it well, having the values, strong values that surround it. And he said values are, in one part of the book, he said that values cannot be nouns. You cannot put your values in nouns. There must be action words, verbs. They must sound, they must be articulated in a way that makes you take action on them. And so I don't know if someone else has something to share. There's a lot to share from here. Do we have someone else, please? Something stood out for you as you
Yes,
read?
mommy, so stood up. Yes, mommy, so I'm up.
Okay, Queen, thank you.
Yes, I just want to, something that really touched me on this clarity. That clarity is, to me, is a crucial, a crucial inspiration for others, or it creates a sense of belonging. Because when the why is really clear, people are inspired, and it will create a sense of belonging. Yes, yes, when a leader clearly articulates its why, or clearly states why, I believe, or a company clearly states its why to the employees, I believe they will understand why their job description is being given to them. They will not, as if it is how can I put it? As if it is like they want to exploit them. Since they understand the why, they will take their job description seriously. And that with consistency, actions and words build trust and loyalty. That is what I picked from that chapter that really touched me a lot. When I look at it and then I go through my job description, I always ask a lot of questions. But when I went through this, I now see why that job description is being given to me.
Mm.
Very much, mommy. So
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
mm.
I also saw, just in connection to one of the early things you said when you started talking, I also saw how he said that clearly articulating the why will get people to want to, I'm putting in my own words, will get people to want to come to work. Because when they know why they are coming, they come. When they know the why beyond the money, now this is my addition. When they know the why beyond the money, they come. They are drawn to it. And so it is just about how you communicate your why, how you, first of all, breathe clarity into your why, and then how you communicate it. His outstanding example is Apple. I don't know at what point we'll stop using Apple as an example in this book, Patience. Did you notice? I don't know at what point Apple will stop being our example, but it is a really good one.
No, Apple will never stop being an example, because this book is more than 20 years old and Apple is still leading. So it will never stop.
Okay. Anyone else saw something jumped at you as far as clarity, discipline, and consistency are concerned? All right. On Tuesday, Mom said silence could also mean that the speaker clearly articulated their why. Permit me use this, that the speaker clearly articulated their why, brought the subject to life in such a way that everyone understood. So maybe if we are not, if we don't have anything else to add, I add a few more things and then we call it a day for today. Would that be it? Are we okay with that, please?
Who was the other person that was supposed to speak again? They have a network issue?
Charlotte, yes, she hasn't come on.
Okay.
Emilia
Oh,
without success.
and with your rain. Okay, you said there
Network
was rain, right? Said there was rain.
thing.
Yes, it rained in your.
All right. Oh, okay.
Mommy Frida,
Yeah.
your hand is up. Mommy Frida, is your hand up for a contribution?
My hand is up. Yes, my hand is up.
All right.
Greetings more, at least. My own contribution that I have when I was going through this chapter 5, that touched me. My emphasis was on discipline of how. Yes, when you have an idea, you have your why, it must be clear. When that idea is clear and you believe in that particular idea, then you carry out that idea. How are you going to carry out that thing that you have planned? So where I was taught is when they say discipline are your values and principles that guide the how to bring your cause to life. So if you are not disciplined, if you don't have good values, if you don't have good principles, it will be very difficult for you to achieve that your why. So you must know, you must have good values. For instance, they will say you should be authentic. Yes, it is a noun. Put that noun into a verb. Like that good person. Then it will make you nice because a verb is an action word. So once you turn that your noun, which are the values, into action words, which are verbs, then it will now help you now to emphasize on that your discipline. And once you are disciplined, it will help you now to achieve that why that you are working on. And so now it comes now to really successful. Now it means that you must be consistent. If you are not consistent, then your belief, which was a why that you have, and your actions, which was a how, you will not have that result. So you must learn to be that consistent so that your results must come out clearly. Thank you. Are we there?
Thank you, Mommy Frida. The last thing I heard is if you're consistent, your results will come out clearly. Was that it?
Exactly. That was like saying that your why is just a belief and it's what you believe. And then
Yes.
your how are your actions, how you're carrying out those actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then now what now is the result. So if you are not consistent, those results will not make you to be successful.
That's right.
So you must follow those steps.
Mommy Frida, your network, please. We lost you.
Well, sorry, it's above my own control. It has been breaking all through.
No, we didn't hear you for just about 30 or 45.
Still emphasizing on the act of discipline of how.
Okay.
That if you are disciplined, you must have values and principles that guide you to carry out that how.
Yes.
Yes. You must be to guide you on the how. And they articulate our values as verbs. We should not leave our values as nouns.
Mm-hmm.
So that it will give us a clearer value. For instance, if I say be authentic, that is a noun, right?
Mm.
But that makes you you are getting me.
Not quite.
Or the network is still this.
It's
Well,
it's in and out.
then
It's in and out, but we kind of getting you. You said something about authentic.
yes, I would say you should be authentic. When we say authentic, that's a very good value, right? Which is a noun. So it is not change that aspect, that value of authenticity to a verb. How can you be authentic? My particular action by doing something good that will not disgrace you, that will help to push that your dream to reality. So you are carrying out a particular action. Do that good action. Go and harvest. If you're a farmer like me, go and prepare your land. Look for your seeds. Those are the you are to being authentic and truthful by carrying out those activities. That's why I'm saying that you change your values from being nouns to being verbs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just give, because when they are nouns, it's just like you are giving instructions when you are not yet carrying out that is the action. I don't know if people have understood me.
Yes, yes.
Yes. What you're saying makes sense. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. You add ing to it now, so something has to happen.
Act of
right?
Of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I want success. I want to be successful. How can you be successful when you have not carried out a particular action?
Gotta thing.
You should be truthful. Yes, that is an instruction. That is a noun. Be truthful. How can you be truthful? By telling truth to people, by doing the right thing. So by that, by doing it, as you say, Mom, adding ing in it.
Just like it's just like you say work, right? You are going to work. Okay, at work, what are you doing at work? You are working. So something has to be happening.
That something should be happening.
Yeah. Something should be happening. You're right, Mama. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Also,
and you cannot be authentic. Cannot be authentic when you don't achieve, when there is no clarity of why. If your why is not really clear, you're just wasting your energy. You'll just be beating around the bush, wasting energy and not realizing any result, any good results. So make sure your why is extremely clear. To be very clear. And then you are ready to carry out those, starting from the inside and going out. From the inside of the golden circle and moving outward.
Thank you.
Can I say something? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Loveline.
Okay. I want to come in with a contribution. When you were talking about writing down your dream, making it clear. I think the whole process has its foundation at the level of making your dreams very clear. Like if you have received this dream, as Mom Solange, you were going back to the Bible, if you know and you're convinced that the Lord has given you this dream, it is written down and you believe so much in it. If the Lord gives you this dream, if you receive this dream, it means that you have received every part, every section of this dream, every part, every process, every process, every step of this business or this activity is well known to you because you received it, you wrote it down, it is clear for you. So if you are bringing in anybody to work with you, you are bringing in people to help you in what is very clear to you. So at the end of the day, what your clarity now will keep you out of playing a blame game. We have seen how people have built companies and at a certain moment that company collapsed. And when you want to do your research, they will tell you that it was being mismanaged by the people they employed. So if you are a leader, you have a company or an activity at hand, you employ 1 or 2 people to work with you in order to achieving this dream. You should always be ready to step in every sector of this dream wherever you see that there are lapses, because every part of this dream is very familiar to you. So when there is something that is going wrong somewhere, you should be, you should know, and you should quickly step in, either to bring a support and advice or to do a replacement. So these things can only happen if your vision is clearly stated and you know what whoever is supposed to be doing. It should not come to you as a surprise. You should not just get up one day, one morning, and somebody has brought down a dream that was given to you. So if we clearly know exactly what we want to do, we will know exactly who we are putting at which level, and we should follow them up in such a way that when it starts going down, we should stand up, so that at the end of the day, we will not say that we received our dream and people brought it down. So that is a little contribution I wanted to bring in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Free. Thank you. Indeed, if you receive a vision, if you have it as a leader, be it a company, an organization, or you're leading your household, and you know what God wants, for example, for your house, for your children, for your marriage, for your family, if you have received the word for it, which will be the vision, then no one can take it away from you like that, for real. Because you have all the specs together. It is clear to you, it is clearer to you than it is to anyone else. And that is why we must sit down to get the why, you see. That is why for every leader, there must be a clear why. We must have a perfect understanding of why, or of how, of why, that would subsequently guide our how and then our what. Without which, we will have those lazy complaints, like you just said, Loveline, that will say somebody mismanaged the company. It usually is not so, because you should be able, I'm repeating your words, you should be able to step in at any time to realign, to get your company in realignment, to get everything to suit your why. No, so that is important for us as leaders. And it is under the how, we realize that our how is our process. It is the process by which we do things. When we know the why, the how is the process, is the systems, it's our culture. The how we do it becomes an integral part of us. How we do it, if we're disciplined about doing it, we wake up every morning, we know that at 9 a.m. we have to achieve this and this and this goals. Between 9 and 12 noon, we have to achieve this. It becomes a process, it becomes a system, it becomes a style, a pattern, a culture that we can follow to achieve whatever we set out to achieve as leaders in the different areas, in our different spheres of influence. So I don't know if anyone else has something to add, please. Thank you, Free. Anyone else, please? All right.